Welcome back, and thank you for listening to part two of my conversation with Kathy Andrews. We pick up talking about lessons learned in marriage. Enjoy. Okay, being married for 43 years can have many lessons. What are some of the best lessons marriage has taught you? Patience, understanding, being a good detective. Um, what lessons have you learned the most?
Patience,
Patience.
patience.
Mhm.
Um, when you're married and you're in two different types of, I mean, you're not both blue collar, or you're not
Mhm.
both, professional or whatever. That has its challenges. Being a good listener is another.
Mm.
So being patient when Raymond, who drove an 18-wheeler, would come home with mud on his boots and walk in the house that, I just washed the floor. Blah. But, um, you know, uh, and his not being comfortable when I would be at work, in amongst my peers, um, that took patience,
Mhm.
on both sides, um, to the point where he finally got to a point where he would go with me to these different things that I was involved with.
Mhm.
And I would sit and listen to him talk his beer stories about the guys in the 18 wheelers, Um, yeah, the patience, understanding. And I find more now as we're older, we have health problems.
Mhm.
And when I stop and think, this, I told you a little earlier, this world is not our own.
Mhm.
Um, it's difficult for me to think of a life without him after being with him for more than half of mine.
Yeah, more than half of yours. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I forget.
I said,
Now I laugh about it.
yeah.
Now I laugh about most stuff.
Good. I mean, laughing is just a lifesaver. It just saves you. You have to laugh. Have to laugh.
It does.
Um, so I had a question about like us. So you are a second mother to so many people, myself included. Um, what is it like to be a second mother to like all these kids that you pick up along the way? Is it heavy? Is it hard? Do you ever like not want to be a second mother? What is it like having all those people who need and love you?
For me, it's second nature. I you know, I've always had kids in my life. We've taken in kids. I had a foster godson actually living with us back in the day. We always, even after Raymond and I got together, we always had someone living with us that was in need. So it was second nature to just, when I started working with students at the college, um, especially, you know, because you find that they're tormented with the classes, the advisors that don't talk to them, whatever it is. Um, they have issues. They have personal lives that you know, have had issues, and so they need somebody that they can vent to.
Mm.
That's not going to be judgmental. That's going to accept them for who they are and where they're at. And I found that my office door was that door.
Sure was.
But it's still the same. I mean, I have a lot of young people on my Facebook account, um, that will talk to me all the time, and Raymond will say, "Oh, how do you know that?" And because so and so told me on Facebook. Um, but they have issues, and sometimes they just need a soft ear.
Yes.
Sometimes they need a mother figure that's going to lecture them. you know, and we had plenty of that too. You know, for me, I've never had an issue with it. I got to say that my daughter sometimes will say, "What do you mean? Like, how about, you know?" And I just, you know, you already know, you got tea, and you got this one, and you got that one, you got that. But she gets it. She gets it. She's like, I got to share my mom with everybody.
Yeah. Sorry, Natara. Appreciate it. So in the comments, Tara said, wow. Susie said, T? What's up, Susie? So yeah, you always had, oh, by the way, if anyone has any questions for Kathy, just throw them in the comments and then, you know, we'll ask her whatever questions. Be respectful because she's like my second mother, so don't start a mess. Okay. So your room was, you were talking about your time at the college, and your office was always open. It was always like open door policy. And I have gone into your office many a times for everything from like a hug to some support. Like you are always there. Do you miss that job? Like, do you miss, like you're retired now, do you miss it?
I miss it. I miss it so much. As you know, I retired early so that I could help Ms. Tara and Jay with the kids. You know, so I have my grandkids. And I love being with them, and I'm loving watching them grow. But yeah, I miss my students. I miss that atmosphere. I mean, I was at the college well over 30 years. So yeah, so that was my second home.
Yeah.
You know, I started there as a young person and, you know, left there as a senior citizen.
We ain't gotta tell nobody. We ain't know it.
But yeah, I do. I miss it. But I still have those that, as I said, will communicate with me. And, you know, if there's issues, they kind of lay them out there. And, you know, we talk it out. And
yeah,
makes me feel good that I'm still wanted.
Yes, very much so. Susie said that when she said T, she was referring to someone needing to be scolded by Miss Kathy. I don't know, whatever she's talking about. I feel like I was a perfect student. Perfect student. So just gonna leave that there.
You sure you want to do that, huh?
Yeah, it's yeah. Anyway. So yeah, you are such an inspiration to so many people. Who inspires you? Like, who do you look up to?
First and foremost, God.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've got, when you look at how the world is today, and I don't want to ever have to go back to where we were in the 1900s, early 1900s. Mm-hmm. So first and foremost, I give the Almighty all my glory. But my dad was a people person. Mm-hmm. My aunts were, you know, they were all mentors to me. Mm-hmm. I had neighborhood women who mothered me. So it kind of comes with the territory. I grew up in the village, and the village took care of me. Yeah. And now I feel like I need to take care of those that are still in the village, you know, whether that be, you know, the senior citizens that just need somebody to talk to, mm-hmm. or the students who have the problems. Yeah. Personal things going on.
Do we still have a village anymore? Like, is that still a thing? Do we still have villages like in our small communities?
I think we do to an extent. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, the street that I grew up on, and then I went back and bought a house on the same street. So
What?
all the kids grew up together. And so, their moms were our moms. We were in and out of everybody's house. I no longer live there. I'm over the bridge. But there are still people on that street that either we were neighbors with their parents, or their parents or grandparents were the people that let me into their homes and fed me sometime, and so going back onto that street feels like home for me. And I know that I could knock on any door of those people that still live there and be welcomed in as family. So I think that, and it's the same. I mean, if anybody crosses the bridge and wants to knock at my door, door's open.
Thank you for tuning in to Uncorked with Tea and my conversation with Kathy Andrews. Stick around for part 3.